You know, in the Hebrew language, there's no word for coincidence. See, I believe that when you have a lot of belief, you attract the things you want in your life. But when you have a lot of fear, you attract the things you don't want in your life. But they're not coincidences. Now, there was a lady, this is a true story. Her name was Mavis, and she lived in Southern California. And when she would go to work, she always happened to go past the Crystal Cathedral. And I'm sure some of you have seen the Crystal Cathedral. I was already in the Crystal Cathedral. It's a beautiful building. And she just always said to herself, you know, one day I'm going to go to church at that cathedral. And so all of a sudden, one morning on Sunday, she woke up, she took a shower, she put on this dress, and she said to her husband, honey, do you want to go with me to the Crystal Cathedral to go to services? And he said, you know what, why don't you just go by yourself? I just don't feel like it. So she goes over to the church, she sits in a pew, and you know, when you go there, really like the ceiling opens up because it's glass and the birds fly in. It's kind of an amazing thing. And she said, I just sat there and it was a beautiful service and I just felt this peace come over me. So she said, I just sat in a pew like this. And then all the people just left the service, right? They all went out to the car, but then all of a sudden she noticed that in her pew, about 15 feet away, there was another woman sitting there. So she looked at her and she said, boy, wasn't this a nice service? And they said, it really was. So then Mavis said, do you live near here? And she said, no, I'm from Minnesota. And Mavis said, well, could I ask why you're here? She says, oh, I'm here on a mission. And Mavis said, wow, could I ask what the mission is? She said, I'm on a mission to find my birth mother. And Mavis said, do you know what hospital you were born at? And she named the hospital, which wasn't far from that cathedral. Then she said, what was the date you were born? And the lady told her the date she was born. And Mavis said, I'm your birth mother. That's a true story. How many coincidences had to happen for that to happen? How could it be that that lady came that service from Minneapolis, that of all the days Mavis would go there, that they'd be in the same pew, that they'd both be waiting? See, this is why there's not coincidences. Because when you pray about stuff, guess what? There's angels trying to correct things that are going on. That's why I always say this. I work like everything's up to me, but I pray like everything's up to God. And I want you to know, at some point you got to realize this, and it may be hard for you to believe what I'm going to tell you right now, but I'm going to tell you anyway. All the things you like in your life, you've pretty much attracted. But most of the things you don't like in your life, you pretty much attracted. Because fear, worry, and doubt attract the wrong things to us. But belief and desire brings the good things. So don't feel bad about your past. Just say in the future, I'm going to start eliminating the fear, eliminating the worry, eliminating the doubt, and start having more faith, more belief, and more desire. And you're going to see your whole life turn around, because that's what's happened for me and my wife.